Welcome to Bethel Online Education Hub. Learn anytime, anywhere. Don't forget to like.
Hi everyone! Welcome to this lesson on understanding culture, society, and politics. When we talk about health, it's easy to think just about doctors, medicine, or disease. But health is actually much more than that. It's deeply connected to the culture we grow up in, the society we live in, and the politics that shape our access to care. Our cultural beliefs influence how we think about health and healing. Social structures affect who gets care and who doesn't, and political decisions impact the resources and policies that keep us healthy or make us vulnerable. In this lesson, we will explore these connections and see how health is shaped by the world around us, not just by biology, but by culture, society, and politics. Let's start by understanding what health really means. According to the World Health Organization or WHO, back in 1948, health is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. This means health is not just about avoiding sickness or injuries. It's about feeling well in many parts of your life, your body, your mind, your relationship, and even your sense of purpose. To better understand this, health is often divided into five key domains. Now, let's start with physical health, which is probably the most familiar part of health for many of us. Physical health refers how well your body functions. It's about being able to perform daily activities without pain, discomfort, or illness. These include maintaining good fitness through regular exercise, eating nutritious foods, and staying at a healthy body weight. Taking care of your physical health also means avoiding harmful habits or vices like smoking, excessive drinking, or drug use. It's about keeping your body free from disease and sickness so you can feel strong, energetic, and ready to face each day. In short, physical health is the foundation that supports everything else in your life. Next, we have psychological health, which is often called mental health. This domain relates to your overall well being in terms of how you think, feel, and behave. It includes how you process information, handle stress, and maintain a positive outlook on life. Psychological health also influences how you relate to others and how you act in different situations. It covers several important areas: mental, emotional, social, and even spiritual well being. When your psychological health is strong, you can cope better with challenges, build healthy relationships, and make thoughtful decisions. It's a vital part of your total health because your mind and emotion affect everything you do. Now, let's talk about emotional health. This is all about recognizing, understanding, and managing your feelings. Being emotionally healthy means you can cope with life's ups and downs in a balanced way. It's the ability to acknowledge your emotion, whether it's happiness, sadness, anger, or anxiety, and express them in a healthy and constructive manner. When your emotional health is strong, you are better equipped to handle stress, build meaningful relationships, and make decisions that support your well-being. In short, emotional health help us navigate life's challenges with resilience and self-awareness. Next, we have social health. This refers to the quality of your relationship and connection with the people around you, like family, friends, teachers, classmates, and others you interact with daily. Healthy social health means having positive, supportive relationships that help you feel connected and understood. This strong connection can reduce stress, provide encouragement, and improve your overall quality of life. In short, social health is about how well will you build and maintain meaningful bonds with others, which plays a big role in your overall well-being. Finally, let's explore spiritual health. This domain is about your essence of meaning and purpose in life. It doesn't have to be tied to religion, although it can be, but more broadly. It's about feeling connected to something greater than yourself. Spiritual health involves maintaining harmonious relationship with other living things and understand your place in the world. It guides your values, beliefs, and actions, helping you find direction and peace in life. When your spiritual health is strong, you feel more balanced, motivated, and connected to the world around you. Each of these areas is important on its own, but they also affect one another. For example, good social connection can boost emotional health, and strong psychological health can improve physical health. So, true health means taking care of all these parts, not just by physical body. As knowledge and learning spread around the world, different countries and nations have developed their own unique terms and understandings for illness that occurs especially in their region. These are known as culture-specific syndrome, health conditions or sets of symptoms that are recognized within certain cultural groups, but may not be widely known outside those communities. Because culture shape how people experience and explain illness. Some health problems take on different meaning depending on the cultural context. This highlights how closely health is tied to culture, society, and even language. Understanding this culture specific syndrome is important for providing respectful and effective health care that consider the belief and experience of diverse communities. In the Philippine setting, many medical related terms have developed throughout the country's rich history and diverse culture. A well-known culture-specific illness in Philippines is bughat, also called binat. This, in some regions, this term originated from Cebu but is widely recognized across the country. Bughat or binat refers to a relapse of body system after it has just recovered from an illness. It describes a situation where a person who recently healed from sickness suddenly feels weak or gets sick again shortly afterward. Many Filipinos believe this happened because the body hasn't yet fully regained its strength or has been exposed to too soon to cold or harsh condition. Understanding Bughat or Binat help us appreciate how culture shapes people's experience on health and recovery. It's also highlight the importance of rest and care even after symptoms to disappear. Another common culture-specific illness in the Philippines is usog, also known as buyag or balis in some regions. Usog usually happens to young children. It is believed to occur when an unexpected child is greeted or visited by a stranger who has a strong or negative energy, sometimes called the evil eye. The symptoms of usog often include fever, irritability, and in some cases, convulsions. There are different theories about why usog happens. One explanation proposed by medical expert Dr. Padul suggests that usog is caused by distress or fear experienced by the child when a stranger enters their homes. To this theory, the stranger's experience may frighten the child's the child, overwhelming them emotionally and causing them to feel sick or nauusog. These culture-specific syndromes reflect how Filipino culture interprets and respond to health and illness in ways that are unique and meaningful to community. Understanding these terms helps health worker and caregivers respect cultural beliefs while providing appropriate and sensitive care. The term amok refers to an instance and unreasoning murderous rage by an individual. It describes a sudden outburst of violent behavior where a person loses control and attack others, often without clear motive or warning. This term has historical roots in Southeast Asian countries and highlights how certain behavior or mental states are understood and labeled differently across cultures. Understanding terms like amok help us appreciate the cultural context behind certain action and mental health conditions. Kulam or barang. It refers to a type of black magic. This practice is considered a malevolent use of sympathetic magic, where a person uses supernatural means to cause harm or misfortune to others. Kulam is closely associated with indigenous Philippine religions and traditional beliefs, and it remains a significant part of local folklore and culture. Understanding this belief is important because they influence how some Filipinos perceive illness, misfortune, and healing. Respecting such cultural perspective helps practitioner connect better with patients and communities. Medicine around the world is vast and diverse in its scopes. A scientist discover new illness and study how they affect the body. Many different systems of diagnosis, prevention, and healing have also been developed. These systems vary widely depending on culture, tradition, and available technology. From modern hospital and pharmaceuticals to traditional healing practices and herbal remedies, people use a variety of approach to maintain health and treat sickness. Let's explore how different societies diagnose illness, prevent disease, and apply healing methods, showing us the rich variety of medical knowledge across cultures. Now let's talk about traditional medicine and healing treatment. Traditional medicine and healing treatment refers to the sum of total of knowledge, skills, and practices that are based on the theories, beliefs, and experiences indigenous to different cultures. These practices may or may not be fully explained by modern science, but they play a vital role in maintaining health, preventing illness, diagnosing conditions, and treating both physical and mental ailments. Traditional healing methods are often passed down through generation and are deeply rooted in cultural values and community life. Understanding traditional medicine help us appreciate the variety of healing practices around the world and the important role they continue to play in many societies today. Now let's talk about Western medicine. Western medicine refers to a system of diagnosis and treatment where medical doctors and other healthcare professionals use drugs, radiation, surgery, and other scientific methods to treat symptoms and disease. This approach is based on modern scientific research and technology, focusing on identifying specific causes of illness and targeting them directly. Western medicine has become a dominant medical system in many parts of the world, and it's known for its effectiveness in treating acute and serious conditions. Now, let's go through with alternative and traditional healing. Alternative and traditional healing is a system of diagnosis and treatment that relies heavily on herbs and other plants. In this approach, the healing properties of plants are often extracted into liquid, such as teas, tinc- tinctures, or oils, which are then used to treat various ailments. This method is rooted in centuries old knowledge, passed down through generation and remains widely practiced in many cultures around the world. Alternative and traditional healing offers a natural approach to health that complements or sometimes serve as an alternative to modern medical treatment. Now let's talk about health as human right. The World Health Organization's constitution declares that the highest attainable standard of health is a fundamental right of every human being. This means that everyone, regardless to their background or circumstances, has the right to access the best possible health care and live in conditions that promote good health. Recognizing health as a human right reminds us that health is not just a personal issue, but a social and political responsibility. It calls on government and societies to work together to ensure that everyone can enjoy good health and well-being. Despite advances in medicine and healthcare, the health of the majority of the world's population remain an urgent issue that still need to be addressed. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights in Article 25 state this right to adequate health. It says that everyone has the right to a standard of living that support their health and well-being, include access to food, clothing, housing, and medical care, not just for themselves, but for their families as well. This reminds us that good health depends on many factors beyond medical treatment alone. It requires ensuring basic needs and social conditions are met. Achieving this universal right to health remains a major global challenge that calls for cooperation and action from government, communities, and individuals alike. Let's look at some important Philippine laws that support health as human right. Republic Act 7305 is known as the Magna Carta of Public Health Workers in the Philippines. This law aims to promote and protect the rights and welfare of all public health workers in the country. It provides guidelines on working conditions, benefits, and opportunities for personal growth, ensuring that health workers can perform their duties effectively and with dignity. By supporting public health workers, this law helps improve the overall health service available to communities across the nation. Next is the Republic Act 9502 is an act providing for cheaper and quality medicines. It amends previous laws like Republic Act 8293, also known as the Intellectual Property Code, to make essential medicines more affordable and accessible to the public. Another key law in the is Republic Act 8423, known as the Traditional and Alternative Medicine Act or TAMA of 1997. This act created the Philippines Institute of Traditional and Alternative Health Care, or PTAC. PTAC's mission is to accelerate the development, promotion, and regulation of traditional and alternative healthcare practices in the country, ensuring these systems are safe and effective for Filipino patients. Together, this law support a healthcare system that respect both modern and traditional medicine, aiming to improve health care options for all Filipinos. Thank you for joining these lessons on understanding culture, society, and politics. We learned that health is much more than just the absence of illness. It is deeply connected to our culture, society, and political system around us. Our cultural beliefs shape how we understand sickness and healings. Our social connection influence how we support each other. And political decisions affect who gets the access to care and quality of health services available. We also explore the many dimensions of health: physical, psychological, emotional, social, and spiritual. And so, how they all work together to create a balanced and meaningful life. In the Philippines and around the world, unique cultural illness and healing practices remind us how diverse and rich our understanding of health can be. From bughat to usog, and from traditional medicine to modern healthcare, this different approach all plays a role in how people live well. Finally, we reflect on health as a fundamental human rights, a right that calls for fairness, compassion, and cooperation among government, communities, and individuals. As you go forward, remember that understanding health through the lens of culture, society, and politics help us become more empathetic, informed, and effective in prolonging well-being for ourselves and others. Thank you for your time and attention. Don't forget to share your thoughts, ask questions, and keep learning. See you in the next lesson.